Hello all, and welcome to the world premiere of Amendment, The Making of an American Myth, or The Slow Sipping of a Peacock Tea by Taji Senior. My name is Simone Emmett. I am the director of Amendment, and I, along with our entire team, thank you for tuning in this evening. We would also like to thank HowlRound Theater Commons for making this free live stream possible, and the Ground Floor Theater here in Austin, Texas, for housing our performance this evening. No need to silence your phones, but after the show, please visit salvagevanguard.org/donate for our audience survey, which gives you a chance to receive some of our beautiful artwork and to support the organizations who will receive partial proceeds from this show, Black Mamas ATX and the African American Policy Forum. And now, Amendment, The Making of an American Myth, or The Slow Sipping of a Peacock Tea.
First, giving honor to God, Your Honor, and the witnesses gathered here today, I now turn my attention to the members of the jury. Though it is not my name, you have heard me called the negress. Who is the negress? Where does she come from? Does she come floating up out of the sea or drop down through some hole in the sky? The negress, it is said, is pitch black, carries a face more foul than sin, a body more shameful than Satan's. The negress is lazy, slow-footed, and ain't worth more than a mule. But if your children won't latch to their mammy, it is from the negress bosom that they feed, while her children are doubly starved. If your tummy aches or your back itches, it is the negress who rubs and scratches. If your crops won't crack open or the rain won't shake a loose from the clouds, this too is because of the negress. And should the good Lord see fit to bless you with more work than you have workers, it won't take more than a word or a whip for the negress to roll over and make you some more. These so-called founders of this nation and the men and women to whom they intend to bequeath it have said that the negress ain't a woman, and what the negress is made to carry ain't a baby, certainly not her baby, to be looked after, cared for, fussed over, kissed good night. While the negress is made to hold your children, who holds hers? They have said to you with unblinking faces that there is a price to be paid to secure domestic tranquility, to secure the blessings of liberty, to establish a more perfect union. I submit to you that this is a lie. And they have named this lie the Constitution, and they needed to believe this lie. And so it is I who has been made to be born backwards into the debt of this perfect union, made to die 1,000 deaths each day so that the negress and the lie may live. And babies, you'd better be wary about putting something other than the truth in your mouth. Because the more you tell a lie, the more you think it true, and you must tell another and another and another and another to make it so. And you don't know where the lie ends and you begin. It is because of the negress, because of the lie, I am not a free woman. And as it is the nature of women placed under the yoke of bondage, cast in the image of the negress, called every name but her own, I have been made to carry a child that will not be mine own. A child that will never know what it means to be a child. A child that will never know youth. A child that will never know rest. A child that will never know comfort. A child that can never truly make me a mother. Make me anything other than the negress. Other than the lie. Lastly, I submit to you that the negress is not real. She exists to uphold the lie. We have gone on far too long believing the lie, and I have come not to defend the lie, but to defeat it. Babies, the lie is killing us. The defense calls her first witness. I would have to say it's early in the morning. Yeah, cause that's when I usually have my morning tea. So yeah, in the morning, yup. Had to have been, cause when else could it have been? Had to have been when I go to get my tea. I get up and then I go downstairs and I make myself some tea and I get up, you know, when it's still dark outside, cause the city sometimes it's so loud. It's so loud sometimes, and I just, you know, the kids, the house is full. Don't get me wrong. I love my kids. Do you have kids? Yeah, I could tell. You got that glow to you. You look beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, just the house, the kids is full. I love my kids, but I just need a minute, a moment to myself. I don't know, you know, to just think, just a moment, just a minute. And so, yeah, I don't know if any other children knew that I did this with the tea, but I did. And so, yeah, but Kalief knew. Yeah. So the other children, cause sometimes he would leave little notes, like in between the tea bags. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if the other children knew, like in the box. Do you ever get a feeling? Do you know, like there's just something in you, you know? Well, you'll be a mommy soon, so you'll know. Yeah, so I think, all right, I'll be all right. So I just make myself some tea, and I'm sorry. You asked me when I first knew that I would never see my son, see Kalief, see him again. And the first thing I can think of, the first place my mind goes to is that morning in tea.
They came out the police car and they searched us, but we didn't have anything on us. So I was thinking the next step was we're free to go. We're just gonna walk home. They set my bail for $3,500. You know, my mom told me she didn't have the money, and it was true. She didn't have the money. $3,500 was a lot for my mom.
$3,500 that's a lot. You know, I didn't have it. I didn't have the money. That's why he that's why he sat in there for so long. I just didn't have it to give. That's not who has that to just give, and I didn't understand. Do you know how much money that is to not have, to need? When it was all said and done, Kalief was in there, in prison, in jail, in Rikers, on the island for 1,110 days. Yeah. 1,110. 1,110. There were 800. He spent 800 in solitary confinement. $3,500 bail for a stolen backpack. $3,500 bail. 1,110 days in prison, 800 in solitary confinement. Oh, and 16. Kalief, he was 16 years old.
Now I'm in jail around these grown men, and they're, they're fighting each other, and I don't know. It was like hell on earth. We were beaten. We were beaten, stomped by the correction officers, hit with weapons. They tackled me in my cell where there wasn't any cameras. They grabbed me up, they put me on the bed, and they were just punching and kicking me. And then they maced me in my eyes, they maced me in my nose and my mouth. I couldn't breathe. I don't really tell too much people about this, but it's like, sometimes I talk to myself, and it's like, it's actually embarrassing. Sometimes on the train or the bus, I have a whole conversation with myself for 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's like, you're really crazy. Like, you really talk to yourself.
He was. When he finally came home, he was different. Relieved first, then different. And you could just see it. The light in his eyes, he would just look at you, stare, blink. And I was happy he was there where I could see him, but he never really came home again or was the same or there or present. No sort of light in his eyes. I'm just, baby, let it go. No. He couldn't. No forgetting, no sleep. Memories always in his head, in his sleep. No rest. Never even a rest for him. Never even a trial. Can you imagine? All that tribulation and no trial? 3 years he sat in prison. 3 years he was beaten, senseless. He was beaten out of himself. 3 years. 3 years. And I believe it was 31 times they delayed his court date. And he never even saw the inside of a courtroom. The best way I know how to describe it is like a boom, 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 and I'm thinking, like, has he broken something? Like, what in the world? What is that noise? Did something fall? Please. So I run up the stairs as quickly as I can, and I open the door and nothing. So I run into the next room, and the air conditioner cover was kicked out, and I see something dangling, and so I run back down the stairs and I open up the back door, and before I could even look, there's his body. Hanging.
Deep down, I'm a mess because it's like I'm 21, and in the inside, I feel like I'm 40. I always believed in standing up for what I felt was right. And if I would have just been guilty, then my story would have never been heard. Nobody would have took the time to listen to me. I'd have been just another criminal.
Your Honor. Members of the jury, the defense presents Exhibit A.
Now a member of the Communist
Would you like
Party.
to come to the ballot box when I vote and take off the ballot and see?
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully suggest the witness be directed to answer the question.
You are directed to answer the question.
I invoke the Fifth Amendment and forget it.
I respectfully suggest the witness be directed to answer the question whether, if he gave us a truthful answer, he would be supplying information which might be used against him in a criminal proceeding.
You are directed to answer, Mr.
Gentlemen,
Robeson.
In the first place, wherever I have been in the world, the first to die in the struggle against fascism were the communists. I laid many wreaths upon the graves of communists. That is not criminal. Chief Justice Warren has been very clear that the Fifth Amendment does not have anything to do with the influence of criminality, and I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Have you ever been known under the name of John Thomas?
Oh, please, does somebody here want me to put up a perjury someplace? John Thomas, my name is Paul Robeson, and anything I have to say, I have said in public all over the world, and that is why I'm here today.
Mr. Chairman, I ask that you direct the witness to answer the question. He's making a speech.
I ask you to affirm or deny the fact that your Communist Party name was John
invoke
Thomas.
the Fifth Amendment. This is really ridiculous.
The witness talks very loud when he makes a speech, but when he invokes the Fifth Amendment, I can't hear him.
I have medals for diction. I can talk plenty loud.
Will you talk a little louder?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment loudly.
Sir, who are Mr. and Mrs. Vladimir
I
Nakia?
invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Do you know a Manning Johnson?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Do you know Gregory Kifetz?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Do you know a Max Jurgen?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Max Jurgen.
Why don't you
took an
have
oath.
these people here to be cross-examined? Could I ask whether this is legal?
This is not only legal, but usual. By unanimous vote, this committee has been instructed to perform this very distasteful task.
To whom am I talking?
You're speaking to the chairman of the committee.
Mr. Walter?
Yes,
The Pennsylvania Walter?
that is right.
Representative of the steel workers?
That is right.
And the coal mining workers?
That is right.
Not United States Steel by any chance. A great patriot.
That is right.
You are the author of the bills that are going to keep all kinds of decent people out of the country.
No, only your kind.
Colored people like myself. And you would let in the Teutonic Anglo-Saxon stock.
We are trying to make it easier to get rid of your kind, too.
You don't want any colored people to come in. Could I be allowed to read from my statement?
Will
here?
you just tell this committee, please, while under oath, Mr. Robeson, the communists who participated in the preparation of that statement?
Oh, please. The reason I'm here today, from the mouth of the State Department itself, is I should not be allowed to travel because I have struggled for the independence of the colonial peoples of Africa. The other reason I'm here today, again, from the State Department and from the record of the Court of Appeals, is that when I am abroad, I speak out against injustices against the Negro people in this land. That is why I'm here. I'm not being tried for whether I'm a communist. I'm being tried for fighting for the rights of my people, who are still second-class citizens in this country, in this United States of America. My mother was born in your state, and my mother was a Quaker. My ancestors, in the time of Washington, baked bread for George Washington's troops when they crossed the Delaware. My father was a slave. I stand here struggling for the rights of my people to be full citizens in this country. And they are not. They are not in Mississippi. They are not in Montgomery, Alabama. They are not in Washington. They are nowhere. And that is why I am here today. You want to shut up every Negro who has the courage to stand up and fight for the rights of his people, for the rights of workers. And I have been on many a picket line for the steel workers too. And that is why I am here today.
Akua believes, but is not certain the first thing she saw is all sparks of light. And without knowing or having any way to know what to do next, she decides to slide her body, all of it, yes, even the baby still swimming inside of her on top of the chairman's. He does not move, she notices. Only after she comes to understand he is wet. Chairman? Chairman. His head, made of wool and gold and God, floats towards her. She freezes, the baby kicks, and the chairman says no thing at all. Chairman! Chairman! Again. But this time the voice is not hers.
The pigs are here. The pigs are here.
Akua believes and lacks no certainty in hearing one of them say, well, wouldn't you know? We got us a pregnant broad here. Akua feels a burning and comes to understand it is her own head made of wool and gold and God locked firmly under a set of what we would know as hands if the force had been human, and she and the baby are pulled from the chairman's body. Under her feet now is a river. Mark, Doc, Blair, Valina, and Brenda are the tributaries. Don't you dare run. Try to escape. Akua does not dare to run to escape. Thinks only of the baby. What it might be like to run her fingers over his sweet baby head, to make song from his sweet baby sounds. Thinks also of the chairman on the mattress saying no thing at all. The defense now calls to the stand Mr. William O'Neill. Mr. O'Neill, please explain to us how it is you came to know Chairman Fred Hampton. Mr. O'Neill, please, your silence is deafening. All right, Mr. O'Neill. If you won't tell it, then I will. It is true, is it not, Mr. O'Neill, that you found yourself employed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation? Yes, that is true. And it is also true, is it not, Mr. O'Neill, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation instructed you to make yourself what we might call a presence within the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party? Now, why, Mr. O'Neill, would they have wanted you to do something like that? Ah, yes, that's right, babies. Look here. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the purpose of this new counterintelligence endeavor is to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize Black nationalist hate-type organizations, their membership, leaders, supporters, and groupings. Mr. O'Neill, when was it that you might guess that you became what someone might call lost? When you found yourself strayed from the path that is true, is it not, Mr. O'Neill, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation offered you a way back, helped you to see that this would give you an honorable life, would make you an honorable man, and if that chariot comes for us all, it is better, is it not then, that it comes riding on the winds of honor? So you simply could not sit idly by as these agitators, criminals, so they had been called, threatened your home, your country. Many individuals currently active in Black nationalist, hate-type organizations have backgrounds of immorality, subversive activity, and criminal records. Expose, misdirect, disrupt, discredit, or otherwise neutralize. What did they mean by neutralize, Mr. O'Neill? Did you know what they were asking you to do to Chairman Fred? What they were asking you to do to yourself? Do you know, Mr. O'Neill, what it was that Abraham said to Isaac on the passage to Mount Moriah just before the binding? Here I am. There you are, at the right hand of the Messiah, collecting good grace and a government paycheck. It is true. Is it not, Mr. O'Neill, that by 1968, the Federal Bureau of Investigation had more than doubled the number of so-called field officers used to haunt Chairman Fred and his people from 21 to 43, and they were so close to shooing the fly from the ointment. And it is true, is it not, Mr. O'Neill, that you, after many a night of shed laughter, joy, commiseration, dreaming of the new black liberation, warming yourself in the rays, basking in the glory of the chairman, drew a map to the Garden of Gethsemane, kissed him on the cheek, and called him rabbi. And it is true, is it not, Mr. O'Neill, that this is how Judas betrayed Jesus? You loved him, didn't you? You loved your brother. It was a mistake. You didn't know. What could you do? You were in trouble again. And trouble, it seems, was your primary condition. And this time you was going to have to pay for it. Wasn't you, Mr. O'Neill? Remind us again, Mr. O'Neill, what it is you had done. Oh. That's right. You were taking something that wasn't yours. And taking things that are not ours. Honestly, Mr. O'Neill, that seems to be the mistake that brought us all here in the first place. Wouldn't you agree? You and me, we a lot alike, Mr. O'Neill. William. Can I call you William? I wasn't nothing but a girl when they took me from my mama. Man come and look at me one day, grunt, and say, this one. Brought me from over there to over here. She ain't say nothing. She just stood there, smelling like sweat, smelling like sugar. And I don't remember a whole lot about my mother, William, but I remembered she'd say if somebody wasn't minding right and you could hear him howling from way across the field, she'd say, no sympathy for the devil. And like I say, William, I wasn't nothing but a girl, so I didn't know who the devil was. And between me and you, I'm starting to suspect no one does. Could we say now, is it possible that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the so-called founders of this nation and the men and women to whom they intend to bequeath it, would have us to believe that the devil is you? But you wasn't the devil, was you? That's not what your mother called you. But they made you believe you was. And they made you betray your brother. Who you loved, who loved you. And you've been in hell ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, babies, is this the perfect union? Domestic tranquility. Those bodies piled on the floor of that Chicago apartment. Are these the secure blessings of liberty? Do you ever ask yourself, babies, what kind of mother would bring a child into this world?
Okay, you put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. White power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out. X power to those we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here saying the last word, before you go to bed tonight, say I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in what they call a revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary.
Go to sleep, little baby. Go to sleep, little baby. You and me and death may see need no other loving baby. I first come to know it in my sleep. Before the blood stopped coming or my belly started swelling, sleep come to me one night. Say, ain't gonna be too much longer by yourself. And this child came to me in a dream, just like Mary and the angel. And I commenced to exalting this baby to the center of my own private universe. Let this baby become more to me than I could ever be to myself. Do you think if Mary knew that those sweet little hands she kissed would be nailed to the cross, or that sweet baby head adorned with a crown of thorns, or that laughter that woke her in the morning would stretch into a cry before God as they pummeled his body with stones? You think she might have gone down to the river and let the current take her body? Let it all in before it began. Her baby get to be the Savior, but he don't get to be hers. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not intend any manner of arrogance, but the truth is not a bashful thing. It does not hide or quiver. It is upright and unyielding. What I have said to you, what you have witnessed, that is the truth. Property, not person. This is what they have decided. Property. Property. That makes more 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 property. There's no constitution for property. There's no governing body interested, invested, or even concerned with the lives of property. Property is subject to the consequences of the law, but at no time is it afforded her luxuries. At no time does that knotted rope swing the other way. They have said to you, well, have you believed many a thing about the negress? No matter what you believe, this child, this baby, my baby, come from me. And if it cannot be mine own, it most certainly won't be nobody else's. Ladies and gentlemen, babies. I call you babies because I love you, like any mother would. Could you love your mother in return if she, in all manner of knowing, let such cruelty come to you? I wouldn't be able to keep you from it. I couldn't stop them from making you into property that makes more property, that makes more property, that makes more property, that makes more property. Could you? Could you? Could you love your mother? You my baby. Please. Baby. Forgive your mother.
Go to sleep, you little baby. Go to sleep, you little baby. Your mama's gone away and your daddy's gonna stay. Didn't leave nobody but the baby. Go to sleep, you little 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 baby. Everybody's gone and the cotton and the corn. Didn't leave nobody but the baby. Your sweet little